Welcome back, everyone. We have a quick update on stimulus checks at the federal level and at the state level as well. Good news for those of you who have not received your stimulus checks yet. Well, they could be on the way to you very shortly. So we'll be talking about it all in today's video. Thank you so much for joining us. Before we get started, as always, make sure you guys do a couple things for me. Number one, give this video a tremendous thumbs up, smash a like button. I would appreciate that. If you haven't already, make sure you are subscribed to this channel. We've gotten a ton of new subscribers on board, very close to 17,000 subscribers. In fact, by the time you're watching this, we probably will already have hit 17,000. There's a good chance, don't want to jinx it, but 20,000 subscribers is when we will be doing our next cash giveaway, so make sure you are subscribed and have notifications turned on as well. With that being said, let's get started and dive right in. So stimulus payments during the year of 2021 are almost finished as the year does come to a close. However, there could still be some surprise stimulus checks on the way to some of you. Here's who will get the money. So as we are aware, President Joe Biden signed the American Rescue Plan into law back in March of this year. Feels like an eternity ago at this point, or maybe the year went very quickly for some of you. Who knows? Depends on your perception of time. And that meant that money went out to people and Americans in many different fashions, many different ways. One of the most common ways, of course, was that $1,400 stimulus check, and most Americans, the majority of Americans, did qualify for that payment. Another method that money was sent out to families was through the child tax credit, but that's not what we're talking about right now, but that was one of the ways in which money was delivered to American families. The child tax credit is still ongoing and being paid out to families all across the country, but right now the question looming is whether or not that will continue into next year, depending on what Democrats can get done. But some surprise stimulus checks could be on the way, and this means that families could be receiving unexpected payments right in time for Christmas. So here's exactly what's happening. These stimulus payments are not exactly your regular stimulus checks. In fact, these are the plus-up payments that we haven't talked about in a long time. It's been many months since we talked about these plus-up payments, but still more are on the way. So what are these plus-up payments? Well, here's the easiest way to explain them in the simplest form. So many people were sent stimulus checks based on their 2019 tax returns and their 2019 income. But especially with the pandemic, people's circumstances may have changed. Many people may have changed their job or even lost their job since then. Some families may have also had a child in that time, and that change is noticed by the IRS when these families ultimately file their 2020 tax returns. That triggers that change and the IRS sees it. So these plus-up payments are intended to make up for the difference between what these families received based on the 2019 tax filing and what they are owed based on their 2020 tax filing. In other words, they are owed more money. As it has been some time, as a reminder, people that qualify for the Economic Impact Payment, EIP, or otherwise known as stimulus payments, are people who make up to $75,000 or less as a single filer, or $150,000 or less as a married couple filing jointly. People can also get the money if they don't normally have to file a tax return. So even if you make very little to nothing, you can still get this stimulus payment. The payment is also fully refundable, again, to ensure that it accesses even the poorest of families. People and families will automatically receive their payments, and you can expect them typically around 2 weeks after filing your return. But this month is crunch time, as the IRS has pledged that it will send these plus-up payments before the legislative deadline of December 31st of 2021. In other words, all payments have to be sent by the 31st. You can always also track the status of your EIP, or Economic Impact Payment, on the IRS website and get some more information there. So we'll be sure to update you guys as those federal stimulus checks do start to be distributed, and if there are any hiccups along the way, we'll also be sure to let you know. Now, in regards to state stimulus, for you California viewers, good news for you folks as well. If you have not received your Golden State stimulus check yet, well, it could still be on the way to you as well. That's right. This week, California is planning on sending out 803,000 more stimulus checks, with a grand whopping total of $563 million worth of payments to Californians. Now, this latest batch is quite interesting. It is heavily lopsided to paper checks. If you look at the numbers, 800,000 of these checks are going to be paper, and just 3,000 of them are direct deposit. You could see the vast majority of them are paper checks in the mail. So if you have not received a direct deposit yet, Well, there's a good chance that there's a problem because the odds of you being in that small batch of 3,000 are pretty slim. So there could be some issue there, or maybe you don't qualify for the payment. But if you are expecting a paper check, as that is how you do your tax returns, well, you could expect that 800,000 more paper checks are going to be out in the mail. Now, direct deposits typically take only about a few business days to arrive and show up in your statement, but those paper checks could take up to 3 weeks to arrive. So do be patient. Even though they're being sent out this week, it doesn't necessarily mean they'll receive them this week. Remain calm, be patient. And when these payments have been sent out, a total of 3.5 million GSS or Golden State Stimulus 2 checks and nearly 3.8 million GSS2 direct deposit payments have also been issued so far. You add those numbers up and you get 7.3 million payments valued at more than $5.1 billion in stimulus. According to the California Franchise Tax Board, it expects to issue around 9 million payments under the stimulus program, meaning that there is still 1.7 million left to be paid out. So again, even if you do not receive your checks under this batch, that could still be on the way to you because there's still a lot more payments to go. The California government has a lot of people to access and tax returns are still filing in, so make sure that you do remain calm, remain patient. Your payment may not even be in this batch, but it could be in the next. But it is on the way if you qualify and meet the criteria. Now, it may feel random, but there is actually some method to this madness. The GSS2 payments are sent out exactly every 2 weeks until every eligible Californian has received theirs. This differs from the federal stimulus programs in the past, where payments were sent out on a weekly basis once a week. California state is only doing it once every 2 weeks. That's why there is some greater delay here. Now, the majority of the direct deposit payments were made and sent out by the end of October in time for Halloween, whereas the paper checks are being sent out by zip code. The paper checks are actually going out based on your zip code and your location. So again, that is also a reason why you may not received your stimulus check yet. Now, we're not going to go through every single zip code from the past several months. We'll just be doing the ones that are still left. So maybe you're in that group. Let us know down below in the comments if you're a Californian, and specifically if you fall under these zip codes. I'm curious to hear if we happen to have anyone watching. So let's take a look first at November 29th to the 17th. That is where we are right now. And the zip codes ending in 585 through 719 are in that batch. That is the present day batch going out. Then, this is all paper checks again. If your zip code ends in 720 to 927, well, you can expect your check through December 13th through December 31st, right before the new year. But if your zip code ends in digits that are quite high, such as 928 to 999 more specifically, well, then you can expect your check December 27th through January 11th, 2022. Yes, it would feed into the new year. Let us know where are my California viewers, and if you fall under those zip codes, it will be interesting to do a bit of a survey on this channel in the comments section. So that's what we know as far as the federal stimulus check as well as the Golden State stimulus check. They're still going out, but we're also going to be covering the child tax credit payment for the month of December. It's great because it's in time for Christmas and families could certainly use that money, but unfortunately it could be the last child tax credit payment if the Democrats cannot get their legislation passed. So good news and bad news on that child tax credit payment. So use it sparingly and don't spend it all in one place. Maybe you want to invest that money. Just some advice, but I'm not a financial advisor. So I hope you enjoyed this news. I hope you enjoyed this update. If you did, as always, give it a big thumbs up. Smash the like button. And if you want to see more content from my channel, make sure you are subscribed. Click that big red button and that notification bell. And if you want to get some free stocks, all on me, all free, some free money, like a stimulus payment, but it's on me, not the government, go ahead and use my links down below in the description. Sign up with Robinhood and or Webull. You get some free stocks, some valued up to thousands of dollars in some circumstances. So make sure you use those links down below. And if you want to connect with me on social media, I'm on Instagram at Logan Cohn, LOGANKOHN, right there on your screen. Maybe I'll follow you back, give you a shout out for the follow. But with that being said, I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Take care for now.